off to a flashy start. Hello, folks. Welcome one and all to the Mechpit chat. Yeah, the weekend may have come and gone, and here we are into the new week. But we don't have to let that be a downer, even though it may be Monday, or almost over with the Monday. I, of course, your host Ironcaster here to bring you a little bit of news from generally speaking, some pretty positive pop culture stuff. And well, I thought tonight would be a little fun time to kind of delve into some current anime going on. And I figured what better way than to, pick out something from the season. So tonight we got a couple people that should be hopping in throughout the stream, but with me today is Dash Attack here, who's here to come in, after I bullied him in watching anime.
You didn't bully me. I watched it.
How are you doing, my friend?
Oh, I'm doing good. It was kind of a little bit of a boring day. I was just working on some video projects. Did a live reaction to that new video game, and then I got myself a Starbucks, and got work tomorrow, and so I'm just gonna hang out here, and I'm doing all right, man.
Yeah, dude, that's fantastic. Look. I'm a proponent of the fact that I like to think that Monday is not the worst day of the week. And in fact, I believe that Garfield has lied to us all as children, who has convinced so many people, and so many people just kind of default to Monday is bad, that I want to try and change that perspective. Because really, it's ultimately about what you make out of it.
Yeah. Not all Mondays are bad.
Yeah. No, see, my opinion is it's actually Tuesday.
I could see that, yes.
And I mean, by and large, that kind of comes from the idea that, at least with Monday, you're sort of riding off that weekend high. And even if you do work Mondays, you can still kind of have the water cooler talk at a regular job of like, what'd you do over the weekend?
Yeah.
So you always have that icebreaker, and everyone's pretty refreshed from the weekend. So it just kind of makes sense to me anyway.
Yeah, Tuesday, it's just like, it's just like you're back to work, back on the treadmill.
Exactly. And then from there, the week gets better and better because you're getting closer and closer to the weekend. Wednesday's hump day, so most people are kind of starting to think about the weekend a little bit. Yeah, you're by the time you get out of work and that, you're already halfway through your week, and so you can kind of start to relax a little bit. It's like, yeah, it sucks, but there you are. But all that said, though, we've had a good little week. We played some D&D this past weekend. We got a little bit of tabletop news going on and some chaos there. Gundam has a card game coming out, a card game and a tabletop game, but we talked about that last week. Did you happen to catch that news, by the way?
Oh, about the oh yeah, I've seen you guys talking about it. The Gundam tabletop game. But you're saying there's also a card game coming out.
They're coming out simultaneously. So, we're going to simultaneously see Magic the Gathering and Wizards of the Coast getting a little competition, as well as Warhammer 40K.
Interesting. Yeah.
But someone who was there for that conversation and who's hanging in the back here, I'm going to bring in is our good dear friend Punkwaddle. Hello, my friend.
Howdy.
Happy Monday.
It is Monday. Could be better. It could be worse, but we'll go with happy for now.
Yeah. I'm going to get people saying Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Doesn't really roll off the tongue.
No, but you get to go to the coworkers and you get to have that big old shit-eating grin as you're like, Happy Monday, and they hate you that little bit more.
I mean, is it better than saying you've got a case of the Mondays, or is it you Happy Monday, and when they say bah humbug, then you can set up to saying, oh, somebody must have a case of the Mondays. Are you wearing your bling?
No, see, that's the thing, though. They're going to expect that. You got to flip the script and come at them in a way they're not going to see coming. So you got to, celebrate the fact that it's Monday.
So you're subverting expectations in a positive way.
Exactly. I'm going to make things more fun as, it's going to bring everyone's mood up. Or, they're going to kill me. One of the two. Either way, I win.
Yeah, well, we'll see. It's a gamble, but it's yours. Your gamble, so.
I'm just saying, like, you want to leave a mark, you want to be remembered, and you're going to be remembered as the asshole who's, like, excited for Monday.
Okay, there's worse ways to be remembered. You've proven. I'm convinced.
Some people go out there and they get remembered for being the guy who pissed himself at the bar one day, and other people are just the Monday guy.
Yeah.
And of course, Philip is right. Happy Mecha Monday, folks.
Yes, happy Mecha Monday. I will say, if you show up for work, that's half the battle right there on a Monday.
Ain't that the truth? So I guess to kind of start things off today, there was, of course, the bit sort of our big titular story going on here with the current isekai anime, number 5,000 within the last calendar year. But before that, I figured, since it is another little part of my interest, I wanted to touch lightly on a particular story going on in the world of tabletop.
Oh.
And now, see, typically speaking, for the last 2 years, almost weekly, the company of the conversation was always Wizards of the Coast.
Mm-hmm.
After, time and time again that they managed to piss everyone off, everyone got so bent over backwards over everything Wizards of the Coast was doing, from, like, the OGL debacle, the
Pinkertons.
The Pinkertons. People got mad over the Spelljammer monkeys that people insisted were racist.
Orkgate.
Orkgate.
Oh, yeah.
The Mexa orcs.
Oh, the Mexa orcs. The undocumented orcs.
We don't need unions.
And the OGL debacle was so bad that it led practically every other company in the tabletop space to have their best sales years in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
So much so to the point that, that Pathfinder sold through about 8 months worth of books within about 2.5 weeks, within the first month of 2023. It was just insane sales numbers for them, to the point that, you could not get a copy of a Pathfinder handbook, as people were trying to quickly, flee ship and go to any other game.
Impressive.
So, all that said, it would seem that the company of this week is apparently Pathfinder, as I brought up.
Okay. None.
And, well, Pathfinder, for anyone who doesn't know, is a D&D alternative. Well, really was kind of a revival of 3rd edition after they tried to shift to 4th edition, and people weren't happy with that. And so it had a thriving, era. Up and before 5th edition came around, Pathfinder was basically the top dominant RPG for a time. They were bigger than Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people, as soon as Wizards of the Coast started pulling their shenanigans over the last couple of years, people started saying, I'm going to go back to Pathfinder, since they just dropped the new 2nd edition. But the problem is, people that may not realize it at first, Pathfinder, the people who work on it, Paizo, can be somewhat political themselves, because it's basically the same pool of employees out in Seattle that kind of go between both companies. The two studios are in the same zip code. And so, and they would do things like they got rid of slavery in their setting as a culture thing. They got rid of race as a thing.
Okay.
And now we've gotten some of their own their executives starting to weigh in on politics and kind of throwing his weight around.
I've seen the tweets, and I've seen he started blocking people who have responded, and but I'll let you get into it.
Yeah. So this is Jason Bullman of Pathfinder.
Okay.
He's been in the game for a while, and yeah, Grums kind of goes into it here with it, but I just mainly wanted the photos to go over. So for a while, people had been talking about gatekeeping as a big prominent thing that has, people were saying we needed to gatekeep the, SJWs out harder. When ultimately the only gatekeeping you can do ultimately is prevent people from playing at your table.
Yep.
There's nothing you can do to stop me from playing my games my way.
Yeah, that goes both ways.
Ironically enough.
So back in 2020, he would have takes like, gatekeeping in the TTRPG space is ridiculous. Our hobby is far too small to exclude anyone, no matter their experience or interest levels. If you play games, you are a gamer. If you make games, you are a game designer. If you like games, you are welcome here.
Oh no.
Okay,
and
that's
then 20. Fast forward.
Yeah, that's 2020 when everybody was stuck at home and buying up everything because they had so many options, right?
Oh yeah.
And
the COVID years were ultimately the peak for so many hobbies, so many interests that it is going to be a long, long time before they go back to those days. Video games saw the plateau and the sales fell off. Tabletop RPGs were one of the best things to come out of it. Or it was the COVID years were one of the best things for tabletop games.
I remember my crammed Zoom games from the game shop. We had to play it all on Zoom.
I mean, like even Gundam Gunpla went nuts, and they still distribute in more countries than they used to, but I think it's fallen off a little.
And that's sort of the nature of that's gonna be the nature of the beast, as everyone is able to get out there and is able to go back to getting outside, go back to their outdoor sports. Which brings us to today, as Jason, as he's currently saying, as he was effectively saying a couple months ago, because rumors had come out that JD Vance, the now VP to be, was supposedly had played Pathfinder at some point. And Jason, who works for Pathfinder, decided to weigh in on it.
I think he might be even. He says in the bio he's the creator of Pathfinder.
Let me go back.
I think yeah.
Oh, he was a game. He's game director. So he's not the creator, but he's super up there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's one of these things where you don't want. I'm a little torn because
it's just a really stupid thing to. It's a stupid thing to say because you're closing like people off. Like you can he has every right to not like Trump or Vance, but the moment you make people feel unwelcome to play your game, you start getting a dip in sales and it's just I feel like tabletop and comics are like the only places where it seems like you're allowed to say stupid shit like this.
Oh, you okay there, Punkwaddle?
Oh, sorry, my bad. Okay. I was messing with the mic. Yeah, sorry.
No.
But anyway, you know what I mean? So this whole Heather Antos, don't like my politics, don't buy my book bullshit. I feel like it's, I don't know, because any other, you don't really even see this with big budget Hollywood movies where they need every dollar to survive.
And that's one of the things about both comics and RPGs. They are some of the most captured entertainment forms because it's to the point where I seriously have to weigh and figure out if which one is kind of is more tainted, which sort of social media side of things is worse. Is comics Twitter bad, or is the RPG is the RPG Twitter the worst? And there are days where I do seriously think where it can go either way, but RPGs are probably the worst one of the two, just because you have two of your major companies are off in are off in like Seattle. You have these big coastal cities with coastal city politics that can have these big influences on a hobby that goes across the world. And the thing is, they don't need to push their politics, because people are gonna go do whatever they want with their home games.
Yeah, and they absolutely can't stop them from doing it. In fact, like the rule books even had clauses saying you can do that. I'm not sure if they have that anymore since the new book. I'm sure they want you to play a very specific way now.
Oh yeah, it's frustrating seeing this stuff, because
it's sad because I was a 5e player. I mean, like, I'm technically going to be playing the new edition because I'm going to be playing with my former high school teacher, and the shop, because the shop changed the rules. But that was my decision. But like, it still sucks. I still don't like the direction Wizards is going, and Pizarro. I think it's narrow-minded, and I think it's callous and hypocritical because of what he said in 2020.
And it's really interesting. Well, you can go ahead and cast your feet more.
I was just gonna say that the unfortunate thing here is that RPGs, D&D, these funny math rock dice games should be apolitical. We leave all that at the door, because we're gonna sit down and we're not going to be ourselves for a game. Like, I'm going to be playing Thragtusk, the orc barbarian.
Well, yeah,
and none of the real world politics should come into the game. Like, I'm not going to be making men's right activist goblins like Sly Flourish has put forth in his latest book, which was a thing.
What?
Yes. Okay. Again, the RPG scene is probably the most like corrupted, taken over, bit of entertainment. As bad as Hollywood is at times, as bad as Hollywood is at times, you can get good things through, like Sonic. Whereas these, a lot of these kind of more prominent big RPGs, your corporate RPGs, are just so politically captured. It's that they constantly seem to resent the source material in an open, hostile way.
Well, I mean, the source material is based on medieval times fantasy, which isn't really supposed to be a bastion of progressive values.
And it's this constant. There's this constant, seemingly denigration over the old over these old creators that are just like guys that were all just like guys from Wisconsin, right?
Yeah, like Gygax. And
it was cold. They needed something to do.
I mean, celebrating your 50th anniversary, attacking the very foundations of the game is certainly one way to celebrate, I guess.
And that's this is the thing that I was kind of getting into, slightly unrelated, but in the gaming space, like the video game space and such, and like how the meta is changing, but it's not changing. That there's going to be some places that are really hardcore doubling down about like, no, like the last 4 years were amazing. If you agree with this, if you're on board with this, it's like, okay, with the sea of red that we saw, and you can say population, blah, 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 but just think of all the towns and all the small towns all over in that sea of red that would love to try something, but then you're like, no, we don't want to appeal to you, right? So you're limiting kind of who's demographically and geographically, you're limiting people by making statements like that. And it's, once again, like I said, how did these games get to be so popular? It was the homegrown. This was awesome. Everybody's included, like kablam, kablooey. And it's like, I think what you're saying right now, Ironcaster, with when it comes into the Twitter sphere, the social network, paradigm, people want to talk about echo chambers. Like, it's
a byproduct of everything being forced to be political. Dave, you're basically right on. You have a lot of that mindset there. And wait a minute, there was a name I haven't seen in quite a while. Agent Decibel, who's someone who I helped introduce to Gundam.
Nice.
And who's it was also kind of pointing out another popular game that I've also kind of helped point in his direction, Castle and Crusades. And that is sort of the beauty of the RPG space, is that there are just frankly so many alternatives that frankly I don't need whatever the latest big edition of D&D is. I've got plenty of alternatives. Castle and Crusade just put out a new revised version of their player's handbook, which is fantastic. And of course, there's my personal favorites. One that I'm running over on my Discord server, Old School Essentials.
Yep.
Which, by the way, great little books. I highly recommend it. This is probably one of the best ways to start, checking out RPGs. That's what I won't stop talking about. And that's sort of the saving grace of the RPG space, is just so many alternatives. The old games still work. You can pick up those old books that are still out there. You can get some of the stuff as a print on demand, or you can kind of go ahead and shift it over to some. You can find ways to get some of the old books reprinted.
It's kind of like,
and as well the fact that you have archivists out here on the internet who've gone and basically scanned everything. So so many of these old RPGs from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s can ultimately never be truly lost. I've got a flash drive. I've got a flash drive that has my massive library of stuff on it, stuff that I've been collecting and hoarding, and I'm still buying books.
Yeah, there's also the 5e supplements that are like made by like Kickstarters and independent creators that you could just use to supplement your own games.
Oh no, absolutely. Real quick, let me give this man a little something in the videos, because I don't play them enough. Does he still function, or should we wow him?
Wow.
What the heck? We'll do both.
Wow.
Wait, I still function.
Wanna bet?
There you go. But with that said, I had to have my little moment to kind of opine on the state of the RPGs and how I just wish we could go back to being apolitical with this stuff.
Oh yeah, certainly.
But with all of that said, though, we do have a proper topic to discuss. One that brought us all together today. And that is a brand new anime that just aired. We are, of course, talking about The Red Ranger Becomes an Adventurer in Another World.
Do you know that name could be significantly longer if they wanted it to be?
although I'm sure everyone's just going to call it for short Red Ranger Isekai, because
some of these names are ridiculous and too damn long.
So let me pull up our AniList description of this, just so we can have a quick visual reference to go off of. Togo Asagaki was the Red Ranger in a heroic range. Sorry, let me try this again. Togo Asagaki. We're gonna go with that one. Was the Red Ranger in a heroic Ranger squad. During their final battle against an evil organization, he gave his life to guarantee their triumph. But fate had other plans, and he found himself reborn in an entirely different world. Embracing on his new role as an adventurer, he transforms into the Kizuna Red and continues his pursuit of justice, helping those in need. I think I did okay that time.
Yeah. This show was fun.
Oh God, yes. Let me.
Yeah.
And there was okay. And I'm just gonna say this: going into it, we looked at some of the trailers and we looked at some of this, and we'd seen some explosions, but there's still things that I was pleasantly surprised by, the little attention to detail and the silliness and how they mixed a lot of great things together. And it was just really, really fun to watch.
Yeah. I liked how normally these isekais are normally a self-deprecating genre that are just poking fun of themselves, like constant isekai like parodies. This one, it seemed to be mostly parodying the Super Senpai one. Like, why are there all these explosions?
Oh, absolutely. And that's the beauty of this is that this is taking this overdone like character reborn in another world, or isekai for anyone who's not up on the anime lingo, and it's bringing in another similar element that the colorful heroes, the Power Rangers for those of our American brethren who may not be up to date on this stuff, and we have this character pushed into another world where all he wants to do is just help people out and be heroic.
Well, it's more of like a kind of like a what if these two worlds met, as opposed to just a simple isekai. And it's like it's these. It makes me think of like when you're playing, when you're a kid and you have your Power Ranger action figure and you have your Wizard action figure. Like, oh, they're going on an adventure. Screw it. This is what happens at home.
Yeah, I figured his personality is just supposed to be poking fun at the Super Sentai, Sentai, however it's pronounced, genre. It was super funny.
Oh, it is a delight because it's playing up a lot of these tropes of that, where he's everything he cares about is bonds of friendship. That's sort of his character trope.
Is that a thing in the like Kamen Rider type stuff?
Well, in this case, they're kind of playing off of a lot of, and especially I feel like some of the more recent seasons of Super Sentai, where, for example, in Don Brothers, he was this over the top, like he's perfect, he can do nothing wrong, and he has to basically beat everyone into being better. The beatings will continue until morale improves.
So it's more of a modern critique or parody.
Well, a bit. Not all of them are necessarily like complete jerks. But the Red Ranger should always kind of stand out for it, have this kind of over the top and fiery personality. I mean, it's right there in the color red.
Well, I mean, in American Power Rangers, even though I'm not a Power Rangers lore expert, I had the toys as a kid, just didn't retain anything at my small age. But like the Red Ranger, is always portrayed as the leader. I know that much.
The other thing is just the anime trope of like the power of friendship and the bonds of friendship, and like
yeah, that's an anime thing for sure.
I was getting a Yu-Gi-Oh parallel at some points with the power of instead of the power of friendship, but it's like the bonds of friendship. We form our bonds, which comes into play later in a very humorous way.
Especially well.
I don't know if you want to kind of go through the kind of the story or just go all in.
Yeah.
Should we
I mean,
break down the episode or?
Yeah, we'll kind of go over a little bit. A couple of things that kind of stand out is literally all his weapons are based on bonds. Like, for example, his weapon is a double bladed sword that literally has like two hands, shaking.
Yes.
There's also his marriage pistol or
Yes.
something.
Where each one of the different rounds is based on like different stages of a relationship. So it's again forming bonds.
Oh, I hadn't. I must have missed that part.
Yeah, he killed a bunch of orcs with it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh. Oh,
which is great because while the witch is complaining, like in the time it only took me to kill one of these guys, he's basically taken out an entire party, and like all his attacks have explosions behind them too.
The other thing I really liked is this goes into your common writer trope, but that he had a band-aid. He has a band-aid for each thing when he puts it into his little device and when he puts it into the later.
Oh yeah, let me see if I can find a picture of that real quick.
The band-aid of friendship.
It kind of reminds me of Gurren Lagann with the spiral.
A little bit. I mean, it's definitely a well-placed nod at a lot of tropes and a lot of things just scrunched together.
Yeah, I really did like even though like Power Rangers is an American show with repurposed footage, I did like the Zord transformation. That felt like old school Power Rangers.
I really.
Well, the thing is, that's never really gone away. Every season has been having those, and it's never not. Here, let me. Wait a minute. I can share multiple screens.
Well, I mean, I like it at the beginning. Yeah. Oh, yeah, his band-aids. Yeah. His band-aid pack.
Like I said, it's leading into that bonds more. He's he's gonna help people get better. Make your boo-boos go away.
Mm-hmm. And it's just silly and cheesy enough, but like over the top enough that you're just like, yeah, it works. It makes sense. It fits with all the silliness of the trope. Like I can't complain about it. It's enjoyable. It's fun.
I'm trying to find the tweet that was kind of explaining this, but the villainous group that he was fighting in it, each one of those members is based on some form of breakup. In fact, the big boss himself is called the Breakup King.
Yeah. Because he says that I was, because she says, "Who are you fighting?" I was like, the whatever group that was breaking the bonds of friendship and
the bond breakers. I think they were called.
Yeah. One is the hot, sexy woman is supposed to reflect divorce.
Oh man, based
homewrecker.
Based.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look back through some of these tropes a little bit more because some of it I was a little tired when I was watching it through.
Yeah,
and,
some of the subtitles were glitching on the site I was on, but I think I got most of the episode.
The one frustration I had was I couldn't take easy screenshots with Crunchyroll because they have some blocking in.
Oh yeah, that's a general streaming thing. It's a protection stuff. You're better off finding it on a pirate site that they don't have those. That's like this is why I couldn't I couldn't do all these big reviews yet. Like somehow Critical Drinker is able to get all his footage somehow through mysterious memes.
Look, if they want to put hurdles in our ways to make this job as hard as possible, we are going to have to try to come up with ways to move around it.
Yeah, there is a way to do it. But from what I understand, it involves like a couple of TVs and a capture card. So you need a proper setup in order to do it.
Yeah,
I can see that.
But there's actually just a much simpler way you can do it. And Dave, no, it's literally if you try to take a screenshot like the Windows Shift S function, the the website will not allow the screen to be shown, so it will just all be black in the screenshot.
Yeah, I've run
I
into
could
that
not-
problem.
I could not get OBS to bring it up either. OBS was not letting me take screenshots
Yeah.
that way either.
So you want to know what I did when I wanted to review Ahsoka? I just like filmed the whole episode and clogged almost all the memory on my phone.
Yeah, that'll do it. Your phone suffered.
I think that's
Yeah.
why sometimes when they do like Nick Weiser and all that and Mark D, they'll do the kind of like scroll through like the.
Oh yeah, well that's
Video.
actually not to record the episodes. That's to avoid YouTube copyright as a
Well,
whole.
that's what I mean. But like, if you're if you're scrolling through side scrolling on your stream, that means it's just going to show up where you pause the show and you don't have to take a legit screenshot. You know what I mean? Like, it's not gonna. That's a way to get around the screenshot issue as well.
Here, let me fix this.
You hear what I'm saying?
Is that how Mark D does it?
Yeah, because I've seen them. They just kind of do the little slider bar and catch.
So
There's Doozy's homewrecker.
He designs like almost very Yu-Gi-Oh-esque. I like it.
Yeah, I think that's another reason why it kind of popped into my head, not just the friendship.
there's so many elements of this that just seem to beckon back to the Super Sentai roots of it, down to us having to have the little like ad break where we got like show the toy of the season.
Well, okay, so those little
Bracelets.
armband things. I remember. So that reminds me of this. It was a squid type transformer we had as a kid. It was blue and purple, and it had legs that looked almost exactly like what's sticking off her arms, like little squid phalanges. And I don't want to say that word.
Was it a Beast Wars model?
No, this was like back in the mid '80s.
Yeah, you see, I'm 90s, so Beast Wars was like the Transformers I grew up with.
Yeah, like this was, I think it was on TV before our time. I think it might have been my older brother's toy that we just had somehow we got. I have no idea how we ended up with it, but like I was playing with this one and then some of the Thundercats sort of stuff era.
So it's going to be interesting to see where they go with this show going forward. I know the manga's out there, and it's been going since about 2020. So this has been around maybe about 5 years. There's a little bit of stuff going on with
pretty good.
To the point that Square Enix went and picked it up for distribution. So it is out there.
Okay.
But of course, aside from our Red Ranger friend, we've got a great sorceress with some great fucking tits, by the way. Like, I'll say it.
Oh yeah, like that was like the first thing I noticed. Like when I was like, oh my god, yes! Like it's been a while since I've seen that much boobage, like in like a show.
And so far they're not being overly like they're just there. They're not doing anything.
Oh yeah, it's not. There's
them,
not no like fairy tale. Wow, stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like, she just has big tits. That's it.
Yeah. Well, even by the way, it's a solid design. We got the big hat going on.
Yeah, you can never go wrong with the big sorceress hat.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, what's the right word? Proportions are important.
Yeah, wouldn't even be surprised if they borrowed inspiration from Dragon's Crown.
I mean,
well, that and also Konosuba's out there.
Yep, I was saying exactly the Konosuba hat. It's just a little oversized.
Well, I mean, really, the best wizards have big hats. Like, the bigger the hat, the more powerful you are. So,
right.
I clearly see where she stores her mana. I'm just saying.
Well, she's from a line of like big magic sorcerers that attended royalty, so she has to be pretty powerful.
You know what they say about big hats.
So she's effectively going to be the straight man to this comedy routine of the Red Sentai is going to be over the top, literally eyes. He's got the fiery eye effect going on.
Mhm. I like how he showed up. He's like, "Oh, I guess the interview's already started." She's like, "No, you're a little early."
And she's so blown away by his abilities. She doesn't understand them at all, and it's funny.
He just sees a giant golem and he thinks, "Oh, it's a monster of the week I have to defeat,"
Mm-hmm.
which it makes perfect sense in his world. It's like, yeah, of course we
Yeah.
got to do this, and then we've got to turn around. We've got to go and like advertise to the kids and tell them like come down and meet us.
She's like, "That's weird. What about kids?" Like, no, it makes sense.
Look at him. Look at him. He loves the kids.
Uh-huh.
And so he gets to be over the top and ridiculous, which completely works for this. As he's oh look, we didn't encounter any birds, and she's like, yes we did.
Yeah, we hit 3 of them.
Yep, bunch of harpies and bird monsters. He just doesn't remember.
Just blew right through them like they were nothing.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh dear God, you got a monster on the team.
Yeah.
So I think the inevitable we can kind of expect out of this going forward is we're gonna basically see him build a new team in this world, and they're gonna all ultimately become this new Sentai team that he has to, be there to basically propagandize and
like you saw, he was able to summon the Zord without his full team.
That was the part that actually of all the things, that was the biggest twist to me. Is you because I mean at the beginning of spoilers, but at the very beginning of the show when he's with his old team and they summon the Zords, and then you got to go on your own, okay, and that leaves, and all of a sudden like he can summon them in the other world. So I guess they're nothing without him.
Well, actually, the thing is, going into some other Sentai, you do see these sorts of things happen. So it's not like a hard rule that only like they can only summon the Zords if they're all together.
Okay.
It's just like kind of like I'm assuming what we see here, like it basically goes off to a pocket dimension, and we'll summon it when we need it.
Well, I guess okay. It was just fair enough, but it was more the fact that he was able to the Zord, he could the summoning that they were able to be summoned to the new world he's in, like with all the different rules that he can. That was the part that, and I know it's silly, so I should just accept it as is because it's part of the silly plot. And
yeah, well, I mean, it wasn't the fact that it carried over; it was the fact that he did it on his own. Like, obviously, it didn't work, so he had to say that his relationship with his new friend was just that strong, even though they had just met.
And speaking of relationship, he says he'd love to help, and she gets flustered at the word. So it's going to quickly lead to a lot of hijinks that I'm all there for. This is going to be one of those shows I'm looking forward to, getting into on like Sunday nights as I'm going to, settle in, looking forward to Monday.
If it keeps this tempo, you're going to be really, really ready for Mondays if you watch this Sunday night.
Yeah. It's ultimately not a show. I think it's not a show I'm expecting to like sit down here and talk about on a week-to-week basis, but like maybe we'll check in a few weeks and kind of see, hey, halfway through the show, how are we liking it?
It's good for a few laughs, but who knows? It could take a dark turn later.
It's not quite Bravern, but the first 5 minutes of it with the mech and just the normal fighting, there was a lot of that cheesy big robot silliness moment. That was a lot of fun to see.
That's what I was looking for. Let's see. Another mecha show this season is Aquarion Myth of Emotions. Has a strong plot, but set at the end elementary school. Doubtful if it can carry an engaging plot for a season. I seem to remember seeing that. That was on the list, but I don't know if I made note of that. Maybe I'll go check the first episode out and see how it does.
I did see people. I've been talking about this anime Uberblad, and I see like it's starting to get a little traction now.
And sure. Look, we always need to get another good solid action series because
Oh yeah, dark fantasy.
especially that because Berserk is not coming back anytime soon.
Oh no, like I mean, like I don't know, like they screwed up the after the war arcs, like with that CG animation. I thought there was going to be another Berserk anime coming.
I mean, that actually might. I would have to look into it real quick. Dave, if you're looking for another mecha show to check out on Hulu, then look up Macross because they should have almost all like the Japanese stuff except for what we got from the original Robotech. So bunch of movies and some side shows.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I have Hulu and I have not explored enough of what they have because the interface makes it a little bit harder unless you know what to search for. I don't appreciate I didn't get it through Disney, but I still don't appreciate how some of these have tried to streamline their app face.
Well, the thing is, they're ultimately trying to just solidify it down into one program, and at the end of the day, Netflix kind of has the king of designs.
Yeah,
right.
Netflix is. In fact, their design. It's easier to find stuff on Netflix now than it ever has been.
Mm-hmm. I concur. I just like for High Dive, sometimes unless I pause the show in the middle.
Yeah, High Dive's under a lower budget though. That's the thing.
Like they updated their app because I used to have continue playing, but now it's like if I watch an episode and I close it out and I come back, it's like I have to remember what episode of each show I'm on. At least through the Fire Stick that I use.
Oh, I just actually think recently I might not even have to use AirPlay to use High Dive on my TV now. Like I saw that Amazon Prime, I think, has a link up where you can just link your High Dive account to Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Hey, at the end of the day, you win there then.
Yeah. I'll definitely check that out, but if not, I always have the AirPlay.
Let's see. So far, this season's off to a bit of, and I guess to kind of expand it out a little bit. How are you guys feeling about the season so far? Like we've gotten a couple weeks in, and I know we touched on this a little bit last week, but so far I've got a few current shows that I'm enjoying.
Yeah.
I'm fully caught up in Shangri-La Frontier, and I can't wait for the next episode.
I haven't watched yesterday's. Crap, I can do that.
We had the Elf Girl's cat as secretly an S-rank monster, and oh boy, is this like weirdly sexual?
The Elf Girl's cat is secretly a monster. That sounds something I'd like.
Well, it's on High Dive.
Ooh.
Yes, so that'll be a good indicator of like where this show's going to go, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, like because High Dive, good business move, by the way, keeping the raunchy stuff and not going full period.
And that's part of why I keep the sub up. Plus, it's also only $5. And I want to help support the diversity of streaming services.
Absolutely. I barely used it yet. I've continued to be sub to it, like just for like just because of screw Crunchyroll.
Have you guys started watching Solo Leveling season 2?
Yes.
Yeah, everyone talks about Solo Leveling. Is it really that good? Don't really like the title.
Well, it's not on High Dive, but it is. Of course, there's the abridged Alabama version, which we're not going to go into. But
I can't play that clip.
Sister Leveling, yeah, Brandon likes to. But no, is it Korean?
I think it's Chinese.
Chinese, but yeah, but the point is, it starts off pretty strong, and I think Snacks had read the manga and said it was pretty good, but no, it starts off pretty strong. it definitely jumps head first. The animation's pretty fun. The storyline, it was definitely a contender last year. Kind of came out of nowhere, and this year hit the ground running. So I'm all there for it. I don't know if you want spoilers or anything, but
Nah, it's okay. I'll check out the series myself at some point.
Spoilers: he levels up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured it was one of those video game isekais. Or like one of those fantasy worlds with video game rules.
A little bit of that, but it's not an isekai. Basically, you get portals that open up where you can go into sort of a fantasy world to fight monsters.
Yeah, so it's just a fantasy world with video game rules.
Kind of.
Yeah. That's a fair assessment.
I would actually say from sort of, again, that tabletop perspective, it's one that might be worth checking out alongside a couple of other shows like Delicious and Dungeon.
Yeah, I have to go back, and finish Remonster season 1 at some point. I was really enjoying that.
I think you're talking two of the true believers in our circle, while other people are like, I dropped it, I didn't care for it, but no, I liked it.
Yeah, it's not that I'm like dropping like shows outright. I just like get sidetracked, and it's just been hard, like especially since I stopped using Crunchyroll to like really get myself onto the computer and just watch an anime, unless it's something like I'm super already into.
Well, the thing that I've been using to kind of help maintain my focus and not getting so ADD with my my list.
Yeah,
sorry, that's the phrase. Yeah, exactly. I have an anime list. It's sort of like I treat it like a checklist, like a to-do list. Like these are shows I want to get to the point that I've been bullied on my own channel for having like a bunch of shows I want to get to.
Well, everyone's going to be a critic. Oh, you got 70s Devilman on there.
Oh yeah, Devilman is fantastic. So much so that I went and read through the manga.
Oh yeah, I read the manga, Dark Stuff. Did you ever see Crybaby? It was more of a modern rendition of the manga.
I want to get to it, but I'm going to get to Devilman Crybaby after I finish up the original show, and I'm only about 13 episodes in.
Yeah, I hear the original show is more of a Saturday morning cartoon take.
It easily is.
There's a Devilman Grimoire actually does the same thing, where instead of Akira becoming the demon becomes Akira, like it does, which is like what it does in the show. If you get what I mean, like the
devil's having to pretend to be human.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's how it is in Devilman Grimoire, which is just a remake of the original manga, kind of like a remix. I read part of it from Seven Seas, but it's kind of like the 70s show in that regard.
Okay. So I've been slowly trying to parse this list down, as I've been kind of realizing I should probably not have like 13 movies for an anime I've not yet started. So I should probably take a couple of these things off here.
Oh yeah, definitely watch Akira. It's fantastic.
Yeah, that's my mission.
A different list.
That's my admission for the night, is that I have still not yet seen Akira.
I actually bought it.
I watched it during COVID because of the Akira prophecy. When people were saying Akira predicted COVID because they knew the Olympics would get canceled in the year 2000.
I don't know what the show's going to be. We'll just delete that. Just deleting random things.
Yeah, Akira was great. A lot of great body horror. Oh, I won't say. That's all I'm going to say. Oh, nice bastard! Another dark fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Again, this is just sort of like the big bastard list of stuff that I need to like either properly visit. I watched Black Lagoon.
That one was pretty. I've seen.
Yeah, I just periodically, on and off, just been watching Inuyasha on Netflix.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that brings me back. That was the big anime I remember when I was really starting to get into.
Yeah, so that was your Naruto. Naruto was that anime for me on Cartoon Network.
Well,
Yeah.
it was more so it was sort of that level up show to basically like, oh yeah, Dragon Ball's cool because I remember watching like the
Oh yeah,
Toonami stuff.
Dragon
but then,
Ball is everyone's first anime. That and Pokemon.
well, it was sort of a kind of leveling up of it and realizing, oh no, I don't just like this one cartoon. It's like I start watching Inuyasha and it's like, oh yeah, no, anime is going to be a part of my life, isn't it? This is I'm never stopping, am I?
Oh, Black Cat. I actually never finished the series, but I got through most of it. It's pretty cool. Pretty sad.
You know, as I'm sorry, I'm starting to reminisce a little bit.
Yeah, I'm getting a little ADHD right now too, seeing all your anime, and I have seen Black Cat.
Inuyasha was one of those anime that really kind of was super influential for me at the time because it was something that got me to start coming online a lot more. I remember going to some AOL chat rooms into like an anime section, and I've made friends from there that I've gone and met in person.
Well, I never really TiVo'd it, because I was just so obsessed with Naruto, and that was, and Inuyasha was on Adult Swim, but I'm liking it so far. I think the main villain, what's
Naraku?
Naraku, yes, he's fantastic. He's just a great mustache twirler. He's behind everything type of villain.
Oh yeah. It turns out like he was Dio before. In a way, he wasn't Dio before Dio, but it was in a way he was sort of that Dio before Dio. You thought your little brother came back to life from the dead? It was me, Naraku.
Wow. See, I didn't have
your family has been cursed for 5 generations. It was I, Naraku.
I broke you up, Inuyasha. I broke you and Kagome up. I pierced you to the tree. It was all me.
Barry.
Oh, it's like that black hole in your arm. It was me, Bear. Yes. Oh, exactly.
Dude, I remember going into those chat rooms and hanging out, and that was where I started to RP back in the day. I have a nice little warm spot in my heart for those memories, and also the cringe of those days.
Well, I'm glad I could make you nostalgic.
Like there are certain parts about it we're just not going to talk about.
Oh yeah, we all have those best left unsaid.
Yeah.
Where is Brandon?
Well, the thing was Brandon got out at would have gotten out at 9:00.
Yeah.
And he was basically going to get home and catch it. So he kind of let me know like after I had already put the thumbnail up and set all up to go live.
I see.
So he might be finishing the episode right now if he was able to get back on a decent time. And all that.
Oh wow, that's just like when I had to rush and beat Final Fantasy VII Rebirth to get on Lofty's panel with Endymion. Yeah, like I was like beating the game, and then I had to rush, get some pizza, and then I come in 30 minutes late to the panel with freaking Endymion on it.
Nice.
That's how it goes.
That Lofty was nice enough to invite me too. Oh man, yeah, I know that was, but I did it.
The things we do to try to make sure we can meet our YouTube friends here, and which is a fun little element of where we're at nowadays, because so much of what we're doing is also this entertainment, and it's kind of taken a lot of spots of a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
so
people watch YouTube just as much as they watch anything else.
Yeah,
exactly. Like I may not get a whole lot of viewers, but I'm very happy with what I'm doing here. I mean, I certainly would love to do more, but I'm gonna keep doing my thing.
Yeah, persistence.
I'm entertaining myself, and we're all here.
That's the thing. Even if I was stagnant, like with my channel, I'm having fun, and that's like, and I'm making friends, so it's like all worth it.
Exactly. So
well, I mean,
that said, though, I do think I need to try to make some other little changes, like with the channel, and some ideas to kind of try out and go forward. So I'm thinking maybe we'll do like a once a month, like a movie or something review, which I think might be a good way to go.
That could be fun. I totally do that.
kind of looking over at my backlog, the amount of stuff that I could possibly check off by saying, "Hey, we're gonna watch Elgime for next week," or pick something at random and like we'll figure out how to get it.
Because we did that with the Knights and Magic last year, and that worked out pretty well.
Oh yeah, no, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I should
Sorry,
pivot some more. I should pivot to some more anime stuff for my channel. You know, I'm so focused on games. Just because that was the advice Matthew Kadish gave me, was to just focus for the algorithm.
It's really not a bad idea, but also you don't want to just be typecast to like a hyper specific thing. Like, again, if you're just like the Pathfinder guy, and it's like, yeah, Pathfinder's working really well, but if people start going away from that, then what's you gonna do?
Yeah, I think I do a good job of not like putting all my eggs in one basket. I've just I just focus on a lot of type of different things. It's kind of like, it's a balance thing.
Yeah.
What do you think, Punkwaddle? About the YouTube stuff, about all the anime? What's on your mind?
Well, you know what? I like I said, I enjoy the YouTube. It's like the whole thing of what YouTube is becoming is half it's the shows and streaming, and half of it's just hanging out with friends and talking about the stuff that, instead of having to be limited to who's in your small town, we can hang out with people and have kind of these little conversations that we would if we were just sitting around talking and showing off our toys or whatever,
Exactly. Like the only time I ever got this was school. And then when I was out of school, it was like I couldn't talk to anyone about cool shit.
Yeah. And I would have to say that for better or worse, YouTube has definitely been a lifeline for me for the last 4 years. Yeah, because I want to say it was about 4 years ago when I started, because I'd been traveling and I'd watched different clips, but I think my very first live stream was that fateful towards the end of it. I didn't know YouTube did live streams, but it was the fateful Geeks and Gamers aftermath of after Zack Snyder had left the stream, and everybody was like in the what the crap just happened. And this is my first really introduction to all of that, and I was like, this is weird. And I watched for a little while, and everybody's just kind of in this weird tone. And
yeah, that was really awkward. Everyone was trying to figure out what happened. Did he diss him? And then there was all this debate afterwards.
Yeah, and so just being on that stream, and then YouTube started recommending me Geeks and Gamers, Gary, and all these. So I fly down these rabbit holes.
Wait, you were on the stream?
No. Just because
he watched it.
Oh yeah. So I was there too. I watched that.
Yeah. I didn't know those channels. I maybe knew the quartering before that, and so that rabbit trailed me down to Loki culture and all these people that were kind of starting up about 4 years ago that weren't that big, and then we've all become kind of friends and hung out and streamed on different channels and built something.
Yeah.
But you were going to say...
I used to really watch Geeks and Gamers, Ryan, a lot. I kind of moved on to other creators and stuff, more of I watch Midnight's Edge, even if they don't always get the references or they don't want to talk about games or anime. You know what I like their passion. What they do talk about, it's good.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's always important to have a few little circles of YouTube. You don't want to just hyper focus into just that one. Kind of like what I was saying with the YouTube stuff. I've got my people who I go to for all my RPG things going on. I still kind of check out the Geeks, Gamers, the Nerdrotics, the Midnight's Edge, all those. And then I've got other little circles of stuff that I check out. So there's always some lol cows to kind of look at and just kind of stare at in amazement. You're like, Chris Chan did what?
Yeah.
Or you look over here.
You look over drama. You go to Rev, and
or you look over. You're like, Ethan Ralph pulled off his 3 tits. Oh, dude, that was such a bad. Oh,
I don't want to know.
No. Oh, I should really find that for you guys because it's. Yes, we're gonna do this.
Oh Jesus, what have I done?
That's a look.
Oh, I don't see it.
Oh no,
No.
I gotta find it.
No, just when you asked what's this, and yeah. Well, he's done it
But in the
twice.
meantime, while I do that, here let me give you a little positivity because we like to do that here. One of my favorite Tokusatsu heroes out here is Dentman, and we like to check in with him on occasion. And he follows me, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Who is a Tokusatsu superhero who just wants you to brush your teeth. Someone told him, "I love you, Mr. Dentman." He says, "I want you to love your teeth as you love me."
Oh my God, Dr. Rabbit has competition.
If only he could see Pippa.
You know, if I can ever find my Gundam Mecha break, build for thing, I could play it on the PlayStation and play with Snacks and you, because Snacks keeps getting mad that I can't find it. I agree, Phil. I think screenshot or clip that look. I mean,
okay, so what I have here, I found the video, but I found the clip, by the way. This is a guy named Ethan Ralph who was sort of one of those OG guys of Gamergate from like 10 years ago, and he sort of rode on the coattails of that ever since.
okay.
And he has basically kind of wasted away to the point that he's now living in a literal tin shack in Mexico as he basically tries to slowly end himself with pills and alcohol as he streams.
Depressing.
Sounds awful.
Very much so. But the thing is, he's been such an absolute monster to people that I would say I feel bad, but so.
Oh my God, he does have 3 boobs.
Yes.
Oh,
I was
Disgusting.
he used to have 4.
you worked one down?
He passed out on a stream and everyone thought he died for a bit. And so people were just sending him money. And they're like, "Ralph, no." And eventually he kind of stumbles up and he wakes up. And he doesn't realize he's live. And by the way, the video gets so much worse.
Oh my God.
This man is 39.
He doesn't look 39.
Oh, nope.
No, I figured I'll show you a little bit of Nightmare Fuel because, well, it's Monday.
He looks like 52 or something.
He looks like he's 60.
Thanks for setting us up for Tuesday, which is the worst day of the week we've discovered.
Mm-hmm. This is the Tuesday demon. The Rage Pig.
It hurts.
Oh,
Yeah, that's some hard living.
Just do a random jump here. You know what? No, you've seen enough of that.
Thank you for your kindness.
So that's your reminder to take care of your bodies and drink some water.
Yeah.
Hydrate is important.
Whatever you do, do not crush up Xanax and mix it with vodka and drink that.
I don't know why you have to be told, but I hear you.
Take your medicine as prescribed by your doctor.
Yeah.
Yep.
But all that said, though, guys, this has been a lot. This has been some fun. I got to show you just a little snippet of one of these little fascinating circles of the internet that I'm always kind of poking my nose into and looking around at. because it's one of those things you just don't normally get to bring up. Where people are like, I don't care about what this guy in Mexico is doing. I don't care. I don't care that like he got involved with the Nick Rekieta stuff,
Oh, gee.
and he, there was
Now
that.
you're connecting dots that are unfortunate.
Oh, you're talking about the medallion, aren't you?
Oh, he's held one of the medallions.
Damn it!
And then he started. Oh God, he was busy. He was down in I think L.A. with Dick Masterson, and someone had sent them a Sonic 2 medallion, and people were giving Ralph shit because he had fled to Mexico. He had fled to California away from Mexico, and like he left his cats there. He left his cats behind with a food mountain.
What? Okay.
And he's like, I'm not scared. No. He's dropping like hard ends, and he's like, I ain't scared no tornado. And it's like the minute he started to say all that, that tornado started to change its trajectory, go right towards his house.
Damn, we need to destroy every last Sonic 2 medallion we can. Like, it's the only way.
No, it's a demon that is contained in those things. I'm afraid if you break those medallions, you're going to let it loose.
No, have you ever seen like Sinister? Like you need to erase every last image of Sonic 2 in order to defeat it.
I'm sorry, it's been burned into like internet history at this point.
It's become too powerful.
No, it's a matter of we've willed the power into it. This is a curse we've brought upon ourselves.
No, that's fair.
I guess it's our sin to bear.
It is, and we have to like stand on guard with ever present vigilance as we make sure that this thing does not get out there. So we must guard it like it's basically going to be like the Ring tapes. You do not let this thing out. You do not watch it. You do not touch it. You do not challenge it and basically tempt it, because fate will play its hand and the Sonic 2 demon will ruin you.
Oh man, this is sounding a lot like Sinister. Oh my. Yet Sinister, the Ring, like it is one of those entities.
Like, just the list of people who've been ruined by that thing. Like, iDubbbz's career is completely ruined. He was like one of the first people that wore the thing.
They got iDubbbz. Oh man.
Like, he nuked his entire career, and now he like streams to like he gets videos that maybe get a couple thousand views, and this was a guy that was like up there with like PewDiePie at one point.
Yeah, I'm gay. Yeah, everyone's seen that clip.
And he's now basically like turned his back at all that old content and deleted it all. Like all that.
You mean all that revenue he could have gotten from having that old content? Even little Karibo isn't that stupid to do that. He just put some stupid little warning thing so he could virtue signal or something.
Boy.
Yeah, I know. It burns.
We all know, of course, what happened to Nick Rekieta.
Yeah. Wow. What a fall.
Oh God. Of course, we know what the original creator, Chris Chan, and
yes.
That history. What was it? What else? Young Crip. He put the medallion on.
See, I've avoided most of this, but I have a few friends that have talked to me about a few of these things over the last year or so, and a couple of years. And man, I do my best.
Becoming a real urban legend, man. Like it's.
Oh yeah.
The thing is, there's so many of these little like pockets of like internet insanity that are out there from like the old internet that are still kind of around that people don't realize are still a thing.
Oh yeah.
And by the way, you can order one from Etsy. This is where
$42.
Meaning
Is that a real one or is that just a copy?
No, these are the official.
These are so you have to pay Christian for them.
Yes. Oh, but apparently Chris doesn't make them. He has other people make them. But still, do you really want to like tempt fate and order one for yourself, or even order one and have it sent to someone else?
That's Juju Mama Voodoo.
Well, you either support a rapper or you ruin your life. Seems like a lose-lose thing for me.
I feel like there's sometimes abstinence really does benefit you. Yeah.
Oh, jeez. These people have.
Oh no!
No. I have to imagine like this person is like now a serial killer,
He's wearing the shirt too,
and he's drinking the Fanta.
What's
Is
wrong with
someone
Fanta? You know what? I don't want to know. Ignorance is bliss.
No. You don't want to know.
Don't tell me. Wait. Don't tell me. Old Prairie Home Companion.
Let's see. YouTube Ghosts will be the urban legend of the future. They really will. But by the way, what was it? The Irate Gamer, who was like one of those kind of angry video game nerd guys.
Yeah, I
now
remember.
he does ghost hunting now, and he obtained a Sonichu medallion.
Oh no!
But
He calls
he's
himself
fine
the
right
Ghost Doctor.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Punkwaddle, I'm just going to show you this here.
Am I gonna scream? Is this jump
not now.
scare? Or just frightening. Okay.
No, don't play that. This
No.
is a documentary.
A comprehensive history on.
But you notice those timestamps?
It
Yeah.
just keeps going.
Yeah.
40,
Yeah.
42 minutes, 40, 41, 40, 32,
No.
37, 40.
No. I don't have a day to dedicate to that.
A day?
Art?
No. This is more like 60 minutes. Or this is like 60 hours.
I don't have a week to dedicate to this because obviously I'll have to sleep a lot and hide in my bedroom.
From last year, part 74.
Which ends in 2021 with a certain Christian event.
You know what? The dedication of that person is astounding.
And the thing is, like, there is an importance to Chris Chan with internet history because, well, like or not, like so much of the internet like trolling was basically beta tested all on Chris.
Yeah, I think you'd like one of my old coworkers.
Back in like 2005.
Get along.
Or no, oh jeez, yeah, like that long ago is where when a lot of this all started. Like Chris was like one of the first Let's Players ever, as he sent in a tape of himself playing Animal Crossing to Nintendo. He was the first brony.
No way. I disavow. I disavow.
All of these things are true. And of course, Dash, he's also a massive Sonic fan.
Yes, I am aware that's how he got famous. But he's like one of those deviant art type Sonic fans, though.
Well, clearly with that wonderful contribution to the art world, I'll leave it at that.
I mean, OC's shipping, like it's just such a wonderful Well, he's made such a wonderful contribution to the Sonic fandom. Where
When you
would
say
we be
shipping, do you
without
mean
it?
like logistics or do you mean like fandom shipping? Because
Yeah, of course. Like, I don't know.
Well,
Shipping
well,
ruins everything.
well, Sonic did Amazon Prime shipping before they did. Gotta go fast. Way too cool.
ding, 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 ding.
Oh, at this point, it's just pure nonsense. I don't know where else to go. But you know,
into a
I have-
hidey hole.
you know, I feel in a way, Punkwaddle, I feel like Pinhead. I have such sights to show you.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like the rings
Yeah,
of
that
power at
medallion
this
does
point,
feel like that little mint box.
you have not seen what I have seen. You have not seen what I have seen.
I am going to destroy those medallions. I don't care if it frees the beast or not. The evil must be destroyed.
You don't do this. You have to contain it, and then it's going to come loose. It's going to ruin everything. The dimensional merge will occur if you break all the medallions.
I mean, you might have to exercise them.
There's so much deep lore. I have forgotten more of this stuff than I could probably tell you. Because at this point is an 80-hour documentary series, and you will swing from like starting to feel bad for the guy, and then he's gonna turn around and make you say, "What the fuck?" Like the time a man in a pickle suit stole his girlfriend.
Tough break, kid.
But tough break indeed. But I don't think I can come up with anything better to end it on. But guys, thank you so much for coming out. And I guess experiencing these things.
If this is what our world's coming to, then maybe I could get isekai because can it get any worse? It might get better, but can it get any worse?
Do you want me to tell you how much worse it can get?
In a different world or this one?
Have you ever heard of Warhammer 40K?
Oh God, I don't want to be a Marine.
No, you get to be a guardsman.
Now I'm scared.
Yeah, you're just like a dude with a gun. So
You get Tyranid food.
you get to be a 17 and you get to be a like 1.5 foot tall penguin
Yeah.
in a world full of like 8.5 foot tall, like genetically engineered space racist.
Yes.
You think I could get genetically altered to have like my own armor suit anyway?
I'm down.
I'm gonna have to ask Grok.
Yeah, we gotta see if we can make this happen for you. But with that said, though, I think we should probably start wrapping up because it is going on 10:30 here, and I've got to be up at like 4. So,
yeah.
But that said, Dash, what you got coming up, my friend?
Me, I don't know. I'm going to. I want to start Legacy of Kain at some point. But got to finish that King Kong game up first. And other than that, I'm just going to be. Hopefully, we'll have Master of the TDS on the show at some point, though not this week.
What time do you usually stream?
Oh, I normally stream around 7 or 8, like on most weekdays and weekends.
Okay.
Yeah, but I might be a little bit busy this week.
Fair enough.
Yeah, well, I mean, life happens; it can't be helped. So I got the link to your account in the description of the video. So, guys, click on that, check them out, help Dash grow because we all got to give each other a hand to pull up.
Yeah.
And well, I'm sorry. Maybe just giving a hand is a little offensive, Punkwaddle. Should we say flipper or what would you prefer us say?
Yes, we got to be very inclusive to penguins.
Well, if we're saying goodbye, we could just you could say wave, you could say flip off. It's flipper off, flipper out.
I don't think I have.
Do you
a
on the
clip for
flipper
that.
side?
No, I don't think I have anything for that. But should we? We'll go out on something silly here. So let's see. Tomorrow I'll be on. Tomorrow. Check me out tomorrow over with Pops and Stone Loki and Squeak as we get into Excalibur. That's gonna be my next stream.
Ooh, good movie.
I just saw it for the first time, and I have thoughts.
Ooh.
But with all that said, though, folks, be good, take care of yourselves, drink plenty of water, hydrate, enjoy the ride because life's gonna be too short. Then we gotta eject. So catch you later, folks. Peace.
See you next time.
Welcome. This right here is the annual Film Mobile Suit Show. We veterans of the 1 year war gather our old mobile suits and we share the stories, we teach the youngins, and we just have a good time. This boy right here is the RGM-79 Jim. I deployed in it at Jabro. We was assigned to protect the southwestern quadrants from the Zeeks. Remember in battle, I managed to shoot down 3 of them teddy bears and 7 of them Z-Goks. Didn't get hit or nothing either. The beauty of the gym lies in its simple frame. You can modify whatever you want it. Low atmo, high atmo, cold, hot, underwater, colony, and space. Yes, sir. Here's my buddy Derek. Tell us about your shoot, Derek. This right here is the RX-75 gun tank mass production type. It has minimum weight of 56 metric tons, power output of 878 kilowatts, and is equipped with a pair of 120mm low recoil cannons and a pair of 40mm 4-barrel bot missile launchers. I deployed it in heavy artillery base assault ops in Southeast Asia. Though it may not go as fast as other mobile suits, no suit can hit a base from 200 kilometers like this one can. Yes, sir. Each year we do this show, a big star is Jober's Fed Guy. Tell us about the Fed Guy, Jober. This suit, originally built by the Zeeks, is a modified MSM-04 AT Guy. During an attack on Jabro, my squadron of GMs surrounded and captured this AT Guard with minimal damage. We equipped it with experimental artillery and I was designated to be its pilot. During the final land ops of the war, I snuck straight to the Zeke's main California base to